So, what's your name, your full name, and where do you come from?
So that sounds like a police interview.
Yeah.
So, David Smartnight, and I've come from Penzance today.
Okay. And how did you first get involved with Extinction Rebellion?
Extinction Rebellion is a mass movement made up of environmental activists and concerned citizens who believe that the government has failed to protect us from an unprecedented global emergency, climate change.
I'm here in Truro, the capital of Cornwall, where people from across the duchy have gathered to mourn the death of Earth's ecosystems.
The ancestors of our lands would have known of the Norse myths, and they would have known of the tree Yggdrasil, the mighty ash tree that connects heaven and earth, the tree that is the web of life. Up and down the trunk of that tree there is a squirrel, Raktaskar, the red squirrel, that communicates between the heavens and the earth. The red squirrel is in decline.
We talk about resources. So how can you talk about a forest as a resource? It's a whole ecosystem made up of thousands of sentient beings, and we say, oh, it's a resource, and there's a disconnect in our language. This brings us back to our bodies, and brings us back to why it matters. So that's why I'm here today.
I remember having to clean insects off my windscreen on a daily basis. I do not recall the last time I had a splattered insect on my windscreen. And recently we were told why. In the last 25 years, we have lost 75% of the insect population. Insects make up 2/3 of all wildlife on this planet. They are the glue that hold ecosystems together. And they are disappearing at 6% per year. This mass extinction of the natural world affects the human world, because we too are natural. And if you consider that a language contains the dreams and the mythology and the stories and the culture of a people, 20 years ago there were 6,000 spoken languages on this planet. Today, less than 3,000 of those languages are spoken in the ears of infants. Every fortnight, the last speaker of a language dies, and with them, an entire culture. It's the third planet from the sun. And what we know is that what we do to the planet, we do to ourselves.
So I went to a talk that was titled The Environment and Spirituality, and it was really not very good. Most people in the room were very frustrated, and at the end someone shouted out, "If you really care, come to a meeting of Extinction Rebellion," and went along, and it was a group of 10 people talking about the advocacy that they're doing with the Cornwall Council to get them to declare a climate emergency, some of the infrastructure, and this idea that there was going to be a funeral in about a month.
No minute's silence will suffice. For how many minutes' silence would we owe? And the silence of what? In this cause, the silence of the human voice has lost its reverence for me. It is too easily mistook for complicity. For those we mourn are a multitude, diverse and unique, a host of creatures beyond comprehension. Even if they are reintroduced, the tragedy is upon us and it cannot be postponed.
I would just like to speak of some memories of my childhood. I grew up crawling under blackberry bushes with earth around my mouth and playing in the puddles on the tracks and in the woodlands which grew up as I grew up, that were planted as I was on my mother's back. I know what it is to go to the sea and spend all day there in the fire and the pebbles and the rock pools, and to lay in the sea with my face to the sky and be held by this great expanse of life. I know what it is to sit in the woods and hear the birds and the wind, and to breathe in the air and know that this is what it is to be alive, to feel that in my lungs. And I want my children to know the feel of good, rich earth, to watch as their food grows from their own hands.
But I'm here today because there is such a huge student body around here, and we have to get the young people involved. This is our future. The way we're being educated at the moment is educating us towards a future which we don't have, and that is absolutely horrendous, and we're being told a lie. So I'm here to get people more interested, get people involved, get people interested, and yeah.
We demand to be heard.
We demand to be heard.
To apply informed solutions.
To apply informed solutions.
To these ecological crises.
To these ecological crises.
And to create a National Assembly.
And to create a National Assembly.
By which to initiate those solutions.
By which to initiate those solutions.
Needed to change our present cataclysmic course.
Needed to change our